Pandemics, schedules, and weather may try, but nothing will stop Canoe Trip 2020 in July.
And it begins.
The crew began to gather in late July for this annual summer trip that has been running for over 3 decades. The Susquehanna River is to be our home for the majority of the next 5 days.
He's in the boat already.
Do some canoeing.
All right.
Like a glove. What's up, brah? How's it going?
Steven,
Hello.
what's up?
All this work we have to do, this trip sucks.
We're all packed up and we're ready to go.
After the first of many Tetris experiences, we load into the van and make our way up north to dip into the Big Muddy.
You want them back windows open?
I have them open. I already opened them.
Just gotta give them the push.
Starting off this year great, Larry had a surprise for us. Over the winter, his father had made us all custom fishing rods to use, which donned all of our Indian names that we had earned from previous trips. We couldn't wait to battle the infamous Susky smallmouth with them. And there she is, the beautiful Susquehanna. For this year's trip, we went a little farther north and started the journey from Wysox, Pennsylvania.
Whoa.
So the first day of the trip usually pertains a lot of semantics. Loading up all the gear, picking up our shuttle drivers, getting up to the launch point, and just the general starting process of the trip. Therefore, the float on the first day is usually pretty short. So it wasn't too long after we left Wysox launch that we located our first spot to camp.
Day 1. Just below Wysox. Setting up camp for tonight. So we only floated 4 or 5 miles today, I think. So we had to do the drive to get up here most of the day, but looks like we're gonna get wet before nightfall.
So with the rain coming, the first priority was setting up the tents before it started, and then second was getting the fire going so that it would survive the little dampness. So morning one, woke up, put on the coffee, and relaxed by the still smoldering fire and enjoyed the sounds of the river. So after a relaxed pack up, we started our way downstream on today's journey. On today's agenda, we are going to see the infamous Standing Stone. This stone, from the top to the bed of the river, is around 44 feet high. It is about 16 feet wide and about 4 feet thick. During normal water times, the stone is about 23 feet above the water. The amount of this stone that must be below the riverbed to keep it standing for all these years, going back to the time of the Indians, must be incredible. If one asks Siri the distance between Wysox and Wyalusing, she will say they are separated by 12.5 miles of Route 6. What she won't tell you is the river miles. The towns are separated by about 17 river miles. Due to low water and the social, relaxed vibe of this trip, we took 2 days to make it to Wyalusing. This night's camp spot was on the island just above the Wyalusing Bridge. And already, only on night 2, you could already tell everybody was in their routines. It seemed like minutes went by. Tents were set up, fish were filleted, stove was set up, cooking was beginning, firewood was being gathered, everybody was on the ball. The next day, we floated underneath the Wyalusing Bridge and ended the day by a rock quarry outside the town of Sugar Run. Due to a low and winding river, we were forced to forego our usual barge-type approach to floating down the river, and today we had to separate often and do some paddling to make it to our destination. But it was still hot, so there was still some time for a dip or two. and maybe a nap or two. So Camp 3 was set up quick again, as tonight was steak night. And just as every food tastes better outside, steaks are definitely no exception.
I have some guests tonight on the island with us.
Them buck are hanging out in our yard, like right next to the friggin' house. You got a shoe? No.
It's camp. Night 3. Got a nice spot here, a little bell tower for the fire. It is an island, but no water run through that no more. Low river for this trip.
So this morning we woke up and prepared for another long float from our spot at Sugar Run underneath the Laceyville Bridge, and then finishing at an island just above Meshoppen where we would finish our trip. And today, it was apparently going to be up to the front of the boat to paddle us to our destination. And seemingly at the snap of fingers, we were set up at our camp on night 4, just above Mayo Beach, which was where we were going to finish our float. And this spot was perfect for the last night. We had a long strip of beach, a nice current in front of us, and plenty of area to spread out and enjoy the island we were on. We even were treated to a wonderful sunset.
Last day of the canoe trip. Great time as usual.
So everyone seemingly having a little less pep in their step this morning, as we knew it was an under 3-mile float to get to where our van and trailer awaited us, which concluded this year's trip. And this year, as we packed up to finish the trip, discussions, as they always are, were had about let's just continue on downriver. And this year, those prayers were almost answered, as a triaxle of gravel was delivered to the cottage next door to the access road that we were leaving from, nearly blocking the path for us to leave.
Here we go, last hurdle. Nice, slow, steady approach. I like it. Here's where we get the moment of truth. And there's a triaxle truck up there, just dumped gravel. Just like that. Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming along on this year's canoe trip. The float from Wysox to Meshoppen took us on 35 miles of the beautiful Susquehanna Greenway. Plan a trip yourself this year and utilize this scenic river. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and we'll see you out there.